Hey, this is Sri here. In today's video, I'm going to talk you through 4 signs that your husband is wanting a divorce and how you can go about preventing that in a classy way. And make sure you hit the subscribe button below so that every Sundays and Tuesdays, you'll receive access to all of my latest videos teaching you specifically about how to improve the quality of your marriage or relationship, how to get to know your husband better than he knows himself, and how to become the very best version of yourself. For those of you who have met me before, my name is Sri Rajasekar and I help women from all over the world to be able to improve the quality of their relationship or marriage, but at the same time to be able to reclaim their self-worth and their self-confidence and learn specifically about male psychology, because I believe that these fundamentals are what allows marriages and relationships to really go to that next level. Now, when a marriage is not going well, it can be one of the most difficult things that you can imagine. You know, you're sitting there late at night, not being able to sleep, probably not eating a lot of food. Your mind is just running wild about, is my husband wanting a divorce? Is he seeing someone else? Are these just problems that everyone has? What do I do? Do I go to counseling, etc., etc.? So there's a lot of mind games that's going on. And my heart goes out to you because, you know, I speak to women every single day who are going through these difficult times, and I know how painful it is. And I really want to make sure that I use this video as an opportunity to give you some clarity and to work through and understand, okay, is my husband wanting a divorce? What are those 4 signs? And then what can I begin to do in order to create some transformation, not only within myself, but within the marriage as well, and hopefully get him to put some time and energy into the marriage. Now, the first sign that your husband is wanting a divorce is that he's majoring in minor things. Now, when your marriage is going well, you know, you could probably go and say to your husband, hey, hun, could you just swing by the supermarket and just go and grab me something? And he'd be like, sure, no worries, what do you need? And it's this lovely dialogue and it's, you know, open and it's warm. But when it's not going well and you ask the same question, you might be greeted with some sort of negative response. What do I look like, your butler or something? Why don't you go and get it when you're leaving work, etc., etc. Tonality changes, language changes. The dynamic changes between the two of you. And we begin to major in minor things. Now, the problems are actually deeper than those initial issues. Not about going to the supermarket. It's often feeling like your needs aren't being met. It's often feeling like you're misunderstood, or you know, you're not feeling safe in an environment emotionally. Whatever the issue is at the deeper level. But what happens is, at the surface level, we begin to get really grumpy about the smallest of things, and you'll find that your husband starts to do that regularly, that he'll start getting grumpy about the smallest of things, and he won't communicate with you on a regular basis. He'll start to distance himself a little bit more as well. So the first thing to look out for is that he will major in minor things. Now, secondly, following on from majoring in minor things, there is poor conflict resolution. Now, let's say you guys get into some sort of an argument. You know, when couples are happy, you can create a bit of a joke, you can have a laugh about it, and you can break that pattern and flip it quickly. But when things aren't going well, it is really, really difficult to break that pattern and actually get proper conflict resolution. And often it's a case of you don't even want it. You know, when a husband is kind of getting, if he's grumpy at his wife for something, often he doesn't want to break out of that and step into love, because we feel justified about being right. And we would prefer to be right than necessarily be in love. And that's also a question for you, as you have to ask yourself, is in this moment, do I want to be right, or do I want to come from a place of love? And so the more you ask yourself that question, you're going to be able to get greater clarity around the actions that you need to take, because your actions are motivated from love and not from a place of trying to be right. One of the things that you can do when you are in that place where things are really tense is try and use a joke or some inside, you know, humorous event or something that only you two know, and that you can actually begin to apply in the moment, in the heat of that moment, because that will actually allow you to be able to break that emotional pattern. See, we always do that. Me and my wife always do this regularly. If we're getting into some dangerous territory where we can start to get a little bit angry, we'll try and use humor to break out of that. And to me, that's really, really important, because once you start to use humor, you make light of the situation. And then once both parties have gotten off that negative emotional train, you can start to have some constructive conversations. But when both parties are angry and negative and bitter or frustrated, it becomes a train crash, and you don't want that to occur. So that's the second sign that your husband wants a divorce, when there's regular, poor conflict resolution. Just quickly in the comment section below, I just want you to answer the question, what's the single biggest challenge that you're currently facing when it comes to communicating with your husband? Just quickly write below. Now, the third sign that your husband is wanting a divorce is when there is a complete lack of intimacy or connection. You know, intimacy and connection is at the core of any extraordinary relationship or marriage. It's such a vital component of being able to express your love and your feelings for someone else. And if that's not happening, if he's coming home from work and he's not giving you a cuddle or a kiss or any kind of physical connection of any sort, then you know that he's starting to kind of distance himself a little bit. And I know that's hard to hear, and one of the biggest challenges that is often faced is when that starts to happen, you immediately feel huge amounts of rejection. You feel often like you're inadequate on any kind of level. And I really want to be clear here that, at the very beginning of a relationship, there's that physical connection. There is often that passion that exists, and that slowly begins to deteriorate over time. And I know for a lot of women, they often feel like, they're losing their beauty, or, they're not attractive enough. And I just really want to put that to bed for a second, and that it's not that he doesn't find you attractive. It's not that he's not interested in you physically. It's often the emotional connection that's declined that's resulted in him not wanting to engage in that physical connection. And I really just wanted to reiterate that point, because I don't want you to feel as if you're, not beautiful and not a goddess inside, and that, you aren't sexy and you aren't lovable and so forth as you are. Very, very important to remember that, he was attracted to you in the beginning. And so that doesn't mean that he's not physically attracted to you. It's the emotional connection that's missing. So that's the third sign that your husband or partner is potentially wanting to go down the road of divorce. Now, the fourth sign that your husband wants a divorce is when the emotional connection is completely starting to deteriorate. So you have no interest in wanting to spend time with each other. There's no, important or enjoyable conversations at all. There's no humor, there's no laughter, there's no love between the two of you. Everything has just started to deteriorate completely. And when he's at a place where he's not wanting to engage in any sort of conversation or connect with you on any kind of level like he did right at the beginning of the marriage, then you know that he is definitely starting to go down that path of thinking about a divorce. Now, I know that's a really difficult thing to have to deal with. When you have to deal with your husband who is not wanting to connect with you on any kind of emotional level, that's just a dagger to the heart. And obviously my heart goes out to you, and I want to help you through this. But part of this is making sure that you begin to create the healing inside as well. Because no matter what you're feeling inside, whether it's rejection, inadequacy, insecurities of any sort, really, really important to start with the healing within yourself. And secondly, to rebuild a friendship as well. Really starting to discuss topics about things that were enjoyable for the two of you, that you guys enjoyed connecting with on different levels. Even if you take some time and go and maybe engage in some activities with him that you actually had fun when you were younger, or that you both have a special, relationship with. Some of my clients, they go and do a lot of temp and bowling together with their husbands, or, go and play pool, whatever it is. Do some of those things that are just going to allow you to just get out of the pressure cooker for a bit and just give yourself some time to really rebuild that connection. So you're building the friendship, and then at the same time, you're also reclaiming your power and your worth and your self-esteem and your self-confidence. Because often when people are going through these difficult times, their self-confidence and self-esteem goes through the floor. So that's something that you really want to work with as well. Now, I appreciate that sometimes working on yourself is a really, really tricky thing. And sometimes we don't even know where on earth do we start. So for that reason, what I'm doing is I'm going to open up a few spots to my Authentic Relationship System training program, which will teach you specifically about how you can improve the quality of your marriage, but also how you can improve the relationship with yourself as well, and really be able to create true healing inside. And that healing comes in the form of improving your self-worth, your self-confidence, feeling like you are enough, learning to speak your truth, but not feeling like if you speak your truth that that's going to somehow impact your marriage as well. So it's a really amazing program. And look, it's not for every single person. I want to make sure that you're a really good fit. And so for that reason, if on the assumption you connect with my material, you like me, you like the sound of some of the stuff that you're hearing, then all you need to do is just click on the link below where it says book a call with me. Just click on that link, choose a time that works for you, and then you'll get all the appropriate email confirmations, and then I will call you at the respective time. And we'll get to understand where you are now, where you want to get to, and how we can bridge that gap in the shortest possible time. Your transformation, your healing is my mission, and I want to make sure that it's a good fit for both of us. If it's not, that's totally okay. If it is, wonderful, we can work through all the details from there. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've liked it, make sure you hit the like button below. If you want to get more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you want to learn 3 tips to manage your emotions to prevent divorce, make sure you click this video above. If you want to learn the #1 mindset shift to be able to save your marriage from the brink of divorce, click this video above. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you in the next video.